Started by men because of their pride, because of their feelings got hurt.
Yeah.
Men are more emotional in many respects than women.
Believe it or not.
Come on, now a lot of wars can start over women too, because the man's fighting for that woman, right? So, one of the reasons why we started Kingdom Leaders is because I believe that every man is a leader. A good leader or a bad leader, either way, every man is a leader. So, it's a great privilege to be able to meet with you guys on a semi-monthly basis or semi-weekly, every 2 weeks or so we're offering these meetings, just to see what God's going to do in our life. And so there's going to be actionables that we're going to build off of. And the idea is really networking. Someone was just sharing with me a minute ago, hey, I just found two guys. I was looking for somebody to help me out with two different things in my life, and I just found two guys here that could actually do that. That's a big deal. Many men feel like they're on their own, and many men feel like they're isolated. And I want to try to dispel that in my life, because I have felt that way, and I want to help dispel that in your life and anybody else that joins us. There's people here from several different churches, which I love. Who here, I know, is it Temple of Elam? Temple of Elam. We've got, how many other churches here represented? And I say that because it represents the community. That's the big part, is that it represents the community. It's not just one nano kind of module, it's the whole area. So I want to break out in, who here has ever played Pictionary? Oh yeah, good. Oh, good. Okay, great. Mark, your leader? Good. You're up. Mark is going to lead us through this.
I wasn't good at it.
Yeah, this is great. Come here, Mark. Mark's going to be leader over here. Who's leader over here? Who wants to be up and lead it? Who's confident? Rocco's in the back. Gideon, come on. Step up. All right, so Gideon on this side. What we've got is we've got some cards here. You can choose your card, and then you have some helpful hints here. And you got to draw the hint for your team. They got to guess it. Okay, so you see the first one? Yeah, you got to draw something to help them guess the hint. I'm going to read the instructions because I really have not played this game before.
Which one?
You can choose any one of these, and then you got to draw them something so they can guess it.
Okay.
They got to guess what it is. First person who guesses 5 wins. That team wins. Huh?
How long are we here for?
Not that long. You'll figure it out. Pick one out that's going to work. Gideon, pick one out that's going to work for you. And really, it's going to work for these guys. They're going to guess this thing. This is a form of communication, by the way. Just saying. So, honey, I'm very visual. Can I draw you a picture? This is good. There it is, guys. Let me just draw you a picture. All right, let me read you the instructions. Every round is an all play, so both teams can compete head-to-head on every clue. To begin the first round, the youngest Pictionist chooses a number between 1 and 4, draws a card. I'm skipping all that. When the pictures say ready, set, go, both pictures immediately start using their picture card to act out the same clue at the same time, while their teammates should shout out answers. There is no limit on the number of picture cards that can be used to act out a clue. The only timer picturists need to worry about is the other team. It's a race. Both teams keep giving clues until someone guesses the correct answer. If your team is first to guess the correct answer, you score 1 point. To keep the clue card to track your score. 1 card equals 1 point. So each card, if you get through it and they guess it, that's a point.
Awesome.
That's a point. Make sense?
How long do you want to go, James?
We're only going about 10 minutes.
All right, I'll set a stop clock. Stop.
It's basically saying you can draw something to help give a clue.
Start drawing.
No, get in the front. Or draw in the front.
You gotta draw it in front.
That way you voice the
Yeah, what it is.
If neither team is able to guess the clue, both Pictionists must agree to pass, and then the clue card is placed on the bottom of the deck. Play continues with 2 new Pictionists drawing a new clue and giving the next with a new clue card and then giving the next clue. Remember, both teams always compete on every clue. So, I was thinking we would separate it. That y'all work over here, and y'all work over here, but I guess we each get one.
Right.
This is it, and then they both got to compete on it. Is that correct?
Yes.
Oh, this is easy. I don't know. Who here actually knows how to play this game?
It's easy if you know how to draw.
See, that's his thing, because then we can look at both of them and get the idea of what.
You want to put it in the middle?
Yeah, well, no. They'll have this glue for this side, this glue for this side.
Yeah, we do.
So,
Each
yeah.
side of this one.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
We're doing our side, but the same, he's drawing the same thing Mark is drawing.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
You boys understand this thing? It's going to be fun if we just get it started.
Right.
And I don't know how to get it started.
Just get it going.
So what? Okay, the first one is what?
Yeah, you both of them gotta go about the same one.
We do that one.
When he starts drawing, we like start mentioning what we
What we think it is, but
Okay, all right, I'm gonna call it out.
we're not giving it away too much, I guess. And then he's gonna say
Okay,
closer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
can't write letters or anything.
Right, you can't write letters.
All right, on your mark. 3, 2, 1, go.
So we can only draw pictures.
And do not use words.
Yes, no letters.
Mark, you're already losing the first time. Never mind, you're doing just fine.
Yeah, okay.
A bear.
Teddy bear.
Cat. And a bear.
Walking.
Don't give them any clues.
Oh, it's a Google
Next one. You got it. Okay, that's one for y'all.
He's got a razor.
Okay, you ready? Next one.
But now do you switch artists?
Switch artists.
Yes.
Switch it. Switch it. Next, Mark, next. Hold on, Mark, next. Next guy.
What? That guy.
You're fired.
Yeah, you gotta switch artists.
Where's my copy at?
Come on, boys. Go. 3, 2, 1, go. Big shark. Got it. Is that 2? 2. Next artist, quick. Big sharks, both here. Here, both you guys. 3, 2, 1, go. That's 3. Boy, you gotta hurry up. You said balloon.
No, he said
Octopus. That's a hot air balloon.
I said balloon. I didn't say hot air balloon.
All right, hot air balloon. All right. Come on, boys. Next artist. Next artist. Next artist.
We're just making up for last week over here. We got our
3, 2, 1, go. Come on, boys. Come on. Draw something else to help it. Draw something else. Draw something else.
Give you a clue.
I'll take it. Yes, you guys got it. Poop.
What was it?
Poop. Did he say it? All right, they got it here. You boys got to yell it.
Yeah, you gotta
Yell
yell it
your
out,
answers.
man.
I can't hear you. You ain't gonna get it. All right, that's 3-1. 3-1. 3-1.
All right, let's go.
Okay, up. Here we go, boys. Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. You gotta see it. You gotta see it.
Rocket Man.
Rocket Man. Rocket Man.
Got it.
We heard it, he said it over here.
Rocket Man. Okay. 4-1. 4-1. It's all right. Next. 4.
Good job, though, Art. Good job.
1. Guys, draw something that goes with it.
I think we got it.
Here we go. Yell it out, boys. I need to hear it. I am not picking sides, even though it's on my right side. I'm not picking sides. You got it? Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hard or silly?
Music man.
No.
Rock star.
Come on. What'd you say?
Get that out of here.
Tiny Dancer? Tiny Dancer. 4-2. They got it. Here we go. Next one. Oh, I like this one. Here we go, boys. Ready? Tiny Dancer. The last one. This one? Yes, the last one. Okay. Got it? 3, 2, 1, draw. Got it.
Sorry, I've got to let it be out.
Hey, next guy. Who's up? Everybody's got to go. Come on. Why did this seem so hard to start? This is an easy game.
It's great.
Last one. Last one at the bottom. The bottom. Right there at the bottom.
I thought you already won.
Yes, the bottom. You got it? Okay. We're going to keep going. This is fun. I know it's fun. 3, 2, 1, draw. To your point. We start over. Rolling Stones. The Rolling Stones. Good job. I thought I would have won. I thought you did a great job. Come back next time. All right. Next one.
Y'all want to do tug of war?
Come on, bro. I need someone. Come on.
It's IQ, man. It's not muscle, it's IQ.
Okay, here we go, boys. This is going to be hard. Let's see if we can do it. The red one. Yeah, the red one. You see it? Some of the feet. You can do it? Okay. You ready? You know what it is? Okay. 3, 2, 1, draw. Keep on that thought.
Dawn of the Dead.
Godfather?
Yes.
He's here, these boys.
No, that was just a guess of an old movie that's all
I'll
out.
give you guys that one. That's good. All right, that's good. Next, I need another drawer. I need 2 drawers. That was good. You guys got the father part. But that's me. Godfather. Not father, yeah. Godfather. Come on, who hasn't gone yet? Has everybody gone? No. Is everybody gone? No. Hey, Santos, you don't go? Santos is going. Come on. Who hasn't gone yet? You go? Did y'all go? Yeah. Rocco's turn. Let's go up against Santos. Yeah, Rocco. Look at this. You ready for this? Hey, look at this giant. Oh, yeah. Say it. The bottom. Green. See it?
All right, we got it.
Okay.
If I picture this out of the park,
3, 2, 1, draw.
10,000 hours you spent in the
Take a hit.
Keep going. Keep going.
King.
putting me over.
Oh.
Keep going. Keep going. Clown.
Yeah.
Clown.
Yeah.
Clown. Good job. 6'4". I got 6'4". Did you go? You went to, everybody went? Everybody went on this side? Yeah. Nice work, guys. Nice work. Good job. Oh, wow. All right. I learned two things here. Number one, don't overthink Pictionary. That was the first one. Number two, y'all are not very good drawers. And y'all are not very good guessers. Dresser guessers. Hey, good job, guys. Did you guys enjoy that? See, it gets the blood flowing, right? You know, as men, there's so many different ways we can engage with our families. Kids, right? Sons, dads. There's so many different ways we can engage. That's an easy one. That's an easy one, and that was fun. It gets that laughter going. If there's laughter in the house, people can feel the love in the house. Right? If there's no laughter, even when things are hard, we're going through really hard things, if there's no laughter in the house, people don't feel that love. Right? Because our feelings, even though our feelings are not always accurate, feelings are real. We all have feelings. Right? So, that's a little thing, and I hope that of all of these little games that we're going to play, and every week I'm going to try to have something new. Some things will repeat. I've got a really cool one that I've wanted to do for years, and it's on order. So I hope you all will be here for that. I'm not going to tell you because I want you to be surprised every time you show up. That's the idea. Element of surprise. Right? Okay, so let's pray. Abba, I just thank you for this moment. I thank you that we can gather as men here in this place. I pray and ask that today you would open our eyes, you would open our ears, and you'd open our hearts for what you have to say. I pray that in spite of me, I pray that you would bring a word that is encouraging, that is directing, and that will help satisfy the desires of our hearts. I thank you for this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen. So again, guys, I feel very privileged that you guys are here, very honored, sincerely. I know there's a lot of other places you could be right now, and so I'm aware of that, so thank you. Sincerely, thank you very much. We're going to go through, I'm going to put a timer up by 9:30. I'm going to try to get us out of here sharp. I asked 7:30 to 9:30, so I'm going to try to get everybody out of here by 9:30. At the end, if you guys want to take time to gather and linger, that's fine. I got to shut the doors at 10 o'clock, just so you all know. But, because I got things I got to do today too. We're going to have, this is going to be a 30-minute talk. My goal is that you guys can glean something from it. If you want to use your phones for notes, take something down. I'm going to have a worksheet for everybody to take here at the end. Our leaders, who's got the badge? Who's got the lanyards? 1, 2, 3. Is there any? 4. Thank you. So the leaders, once I finish here, I'd like you to take 2 leaders over there and 2 leaders over here. You guys are going to be the round table leaders. There's going to be a worksheet that each can go through, and everybody has some questions got to answer. Nothing hard. But today we're talking about purpose and a vision for our lives. Okay? How do we find our purpose? And then how do we map out a vision to get there? How do we make a way to get to our purpose? Okay? Very important as leaders. They need to know where they're going and how they're going to get there. If they don't have that mapped out, I'm always going to feel lost. Even though we got a lot of good stuff going on, you're always going to feel lost if you don't know where you're going. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So if we can take a moment to answer some questions when you guys gather, and then you're going to have a chance to answer and share around the table. Okay, so I think that's going to be great. The leaders here will help facilitate those questions. Then we're going to go on. And then we'll do the raffle at the end. Today's raffle's got $35 in it. The last time you met it had $73. Who won the raffle last time? Art in the back, he won it. We also have a door prize as well. For everybody that's the first time guest gets entered into a door prize. And anyone who brings a guest also gets entered into the door prize. So we have a door prize today as well. Okay, so no more announcements. So how to make a plan for our life. How do we make a plan for our life? I believe it starts with this, and I've got it in Exodus chapter 9, verse 16. And it says, having a purpose for our life starts with what our Maker, Yahweh, says about our future and our purpose. But I have spared you for a purpose to show you my power and to spread my fame throughout the earth. What does God care about?
Our souls,
Our souls. He cares about that people know who He is.
yes, amen.
It is so important that people, we, the created, by the Creator, understand who He is. It's ultimate. It's ultimate. We as fathers, who here is a dad? Half the group, 3/4 of the group. We as fathers get to reveal to our children who God is. It's the revealer. We sit in that position of father, just like our Creator. It's very, very powerful. So to show my power and to spread my fame throughout the earth, I have spared you for a purpose. These are the Israelites that were brought out of Egypt. He saved them. He spared them. He brought them out of the place of bondage and the place of sin. Our life's purpose is to spread God's fame wherever we go. 2 Timothy 1:9 says, for God saved us and called us to live a holy life. He did this not because we deserved it. He did this not because we deserved it, but because that was His plan from the very beginning of time, to show us His grace through Jesus Christ. So God saved us and called us to live a holy life. He did this not because we deserved it, but because that was His plan from before the beginning of time, to show us His grace through Jesus Christ. I've met many Christians over the past 20 years who are wondering what their purpose is in life, not sure what they should pursue as a career, or feeling unsatisfied in the work that they do every day. They ask themselves, what can I do to be fulfilled in my life? So they ask, what can they do to feel fulfilled? Has anybody here ever asked that question?
Say again, Jim?
Has anyone ever asked the question, what can I do that I would feel fulfilled in my life?
Yes. I've asked myself that.
Absolutely. Who hasn't? Because we all have a sense of longing for purpose. We all want to know that we're here for a reason. Not eat, sleep, poop, die. Come on. How many guys have you met that have just summed up life that way? I have. I've heard plenty of them. Oh my goodness, plenty of them. They lack vision. They lack purpose. How we live each day intentionally preparing for the future. So, how do we live each day intentionally preparing for the future? I'm gonna drop this. I don't know why it does that.
That question drives you to entrepreneurship.
Yes, it does, Mark.
It's
I would agree with you.
Away, yeah.
100%, I would agree. So, I'm going to ask that question again. I'm going to say that again. How do we live each day intentionally preparing for our future? What are we doing today that's preparing for tomorrow? Well, I'm getting myself ready for work. Yeah, absolutely.
Getting prepared.
Just getting prepared for work.
Planning.
I'm planning for this week. That keeps us very focused right here. It's important. But what are we working towards? That's the question. The goals. Okay, this feeds into goals, right? So
Short term and long term.
Short term, long term.
He who has no plan plans to fail.
Yes. What do you enjoy doing? So, one of the questions that I've asked myself if I want to know what my purpose is in life, this was something I can remember when I was in my young 20s. Everybody around me was struggling with, what's my purpose in life? What's my purpose in life? I'm talking about the young adults. What's my purpose in life? What's my purpose in life? And then I started to wonder, what's my purpose in life? I was already married. I got married at 20. I already had twins. I had my third one on the way. I'm like, my purpose in life is to be a father, to be a daddy, right here, right now. My purpose in life is to bring home the money so we can buy diapers. That's my purpose in life, right? That's my responsibility in life. That's part of the mantle that we take on when we join with our wives. We take on the mantle of responsibility, but is that our purpose? You see what I'm saying? That's the responsibility. We've shouldered it and we asked for it. We want it, but there's more than that. Like being a dad, there's the responsibility of being a dad who raises our children correctly in a way that they should go. But is that our purpose? You see what I'm saying? So there's more to this. It's to kind of broaden our perspective on this.
Would you say that has to do with someone's calling? Like, what's your calling?
It goes into calling. Some people might say, what's your destiny?
Yes.
Some people talk like that. So how do you know any of that? So today my goal was to help unpack, how do we get there? How do we get there? How can we at least begin that journey of, am I on the right path in my life? I would say the majority of you are on the right path. Don't misunderstand that. This is not to create confusion at all. This is to help bring clarity to the path you're on. Right? Because when we're in it, it's very difficult to see through it. You've heard the expression, I'm in the trees, I do not see the forest in the trees. You're in a forest and you just think you got trees around you. No, literally, you're in a forest, so you don't even realize it. You just see a tree and a tree and a tree and a tree. Does that make sense? So it's the best way to create vision for your circumstances actually to remove yourself for a day or two. Take a long drive. Some people do that. They clear their mind. They take a road trip, and then they can see again. Does this make sense? That's all part of what we have to do so that we can stay focused on what's most important. So I'm going to run through a lot of questions. I'm just going to ask a lot of questions. I'm going to highlight a couple little things, but for time, I'm going to plow through these. The good thing is, I've made a copy for you. This is all my thoughts. I know, it was good, isn't it? These are all my thoughts. And I helped polish them out at 4:30 this morning. I was like, oh my goodness, I am not prepared. I thought I was prepared, I'm not prepared. Part of that was I asked the Holy Spirit this morning, hey,
Yes,
please help me bring clarity on this.
you know, my question is this, for some people who have already retired and achieved their purpose in life, or they feel...
We're going to talk about that nasty word,
Where they...
retirement. I love that word.
Continue going, or find another purpose also, because sometimes the complacency can happen, and then you feel like that's it, and bow down.
We're going to talk about that. I don't believe in retirement.
Good.
I don't believe that's a dirty word. The Bible does not believe in retirement.
Neither do I.
But we're going to talk about that.
Yes.
So if you want to try to figure out your purpose in life or the plan that God has for your life, consider these questions. There's more to this, but I'm just saying I'm not an authority I'm just sharing from my own life, guys. What do you enjoy doing? Good question. What do you enjoy doing? What do I enjoy doing? I enjoy building things. I like to work with my hands. That's what I enjoy doing. That's a good indication of purpose, calling. What do you enjoy to do? Number one. And I'm not talking about fishing. Though if you could be a professional fisherman and bring in some good money and support the family like some guys do, I know they can do it. They become chartermen. They got their license. They fulfill their purpose in life. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying. But that's a good indication. They're happy every day. Because they're where they want to be. And they figured out a way to support their family or themselves or their drinking habit. I don't know. It's just possible. You know. What causes you, or their fishing habit? I should have said support their fishing habit, right?
Bait and tackle.
Their bait and tackle habit. Yeah. Second question. What causes you to have joy and happiness? joy is something that just resonates in our soul. Very important. Some cultures do not have a separation between that word, by the way. In English language, we have joy and then we have happiness. But when I'm with my friends in South Africa, they're like, brother, we don't have a separation. When we say happiness or happy, we mean joy, happy, joy. Like, it's the same thing. But here, we understand there's a difference between happiness and joy. Right? So, for me, what causes me to have joy and happiness is experiencing new things with my family. I like experiences. I like to enjoy new things. I really love nature. I really enjoy nature. And I like to help others meet their needs. That's what I enjoy doing. Indicators for purpose. Indicators for calling. What natural giftings or abilities do you have? These are indicators towards gifting, calling, purpose. What are some of those natural abilities? Me, I'm a natural-born salesman. I can sell ice to the Eskimos. They live in ice houses, so they need ice to build their houses, and I could sell them. Justin, I could do that. I could sell them ice. I'm not really good with math. But some of you here might be really good with math. Or they're really great problem solvers. You know, and that list goes on and on. Okay? So what abilities do you have? What giftings do you have? You're like, man, I can jump 6 feet off the ground right here. I can get up to 6 feet. You might consider the NBA. Straight up, you should. If you're 7'3" and you can still jump 3 feet off the ground, you're at 10 foot.
Wow. So one question is, if you've been paying attention, what does God enjoy doing with you?
Ooh, that's good. That's good. That's a good one, Mark.
Yeah.
What do I like to do for other people? What do I like to do for other people? What do you like to do for other people? Each one of you has something that you like to do with other people. Like for them, where you don't get a compensation. You do it because you enjoy doing it. Does this make sense? If you are the guy, if you see someone on the side of the road with a flat tire holding their parts out, like, you're the guy that always stops. Why? Because you enjoy helping people in distress. Does this make sense? Indicators for purpose, calling, giftings. These are indicators. You hear what I'm saying? They're showing you something. People say, I don't know what God wants to do with my life. These are the things that you would ask yourself. You see? Teach them. I like to teach people how to reach their goals, help them solve problems they're having. I like to tell people about how God can help them find peace in their life and give meaning to their lives. You see, because I had to ask myself these questions. So I'm like, I might as well fill it in. I'm like, yeah, what do I enjoy doing? When we think about what we really want in life, we can focus on obtaining it. So when we think about what we want in life, then we can focus on mapping it out, making lists. How do we get there? We need to position our lives to live intentionally, working towards our goals. We need to position our life intentionally so we can focus on obtaining our goals. We literally need to put ourselves there, in the seat. Because if you're not doing that, you will never obtain your goal. I will never obtain my goal if I'm not actively trying to accomplish it every day, every week, every month, every year. Because some goals are 10-year goals, 5-year goals, 1-year goals. Some goals are today goals. Brush my teeth. That's my goal. You get it? It's relative. We need to keep our priorities straight. So if something doesn't line up with our priorities, we don't give it our attention. We will not be spinning our wheels and wasting our time. And after you went that direction for a month or 2 or 3 or a year, you're like, what in the world am I doing? This has nothing to do with what my goals are. This has nothing to do with the trajectory that I was trying to set myself in. Do you hear what I'm saying? So we have to be mindful. If we have a roadmap for ourselves, who here is old enough to remember roadmaps? Atlases. Okay, yeah, right, before GPS, dude. We had to go to MapQuest and print it out from the internet, and part of it would be cut off, so you would literally forget, like lose those directions, like turn left, turn right, literally, it was,
Stop and ask for directions.
that was dangerous. That was dangerous to do, because that man just be like, yeah, 3 turns, 3 lefts and a right, and you'll be there, and he had no idea, he was just getting you away. He was just creating distance. Yeah. So ensure that we always keep ourselves in the correct path that God has mapped out for us. The key thing is, if you don't take the time to get away, and you don't take the time to really focus in on what I want to do in life, how will you be able to stay on track? How will you be able to follow a roadmap? It's all right, he'll come back. Okay, a good exercise for you and your wife if you're married, or for yourself, is to literally break down everything you have going on in your life and ask yourself, is this where I want to be in 5, 10, 20 years? I do this quarterly, and I'm not exaggerating. I keep everything in my phone, my notes, and when I feel overwhelmed, I feel stressed, I feel like I got everything on my mind, I go back through and I literally say, what do I got to accomplish and where am I going? I sometimes do it like that. I try to get everything out of my mind of what do I have to get accomplished, and then I remind myself, what's the vision? Where am I headed? Otherwise you're just spinning your wheels or chasing your tail like this, like a dog, chasing his tail. We're like dogs chasing our tails. We're never really getting anywhere. Other people have heard it as the rat race. He's just in the rat race, right? And so that mentality it's not about income, it's about mental. It's not about money. It's always about where's he going, right? Most of our millionaires in America started with 0. The majority of our millionaires started with 0. You hear what I'm saying? So we can't say, oh, that guy, he's always had it. No, they all start out 0. Majority of them start out 0. 10% are the 10%ers. They started out with a silver spoon, and you know what I'm saying? But everybody else, it's like they started out at 0, like where we all are. And I'm not saying you need to aspire to be a millionaire. I'm saying it's perspective, right? So here's the first question. Where do I want to live in 5 to 10 years? Where do I want to live? Why does that matter? It's your place of being. It's your place of being. It's where you live. For me, I wanted to live by the water. And I lived in a mountainous region. I'm like, if I'm going to move somewhere, I'd like to move by the water. Why? Because when I went on vacation or I had time off, we would go to the water. Why? Well, because I lived in the mountains. I already lived in the mountains. I already had that experience all the time. It's good to get out of that mountain air and get down by the coastline. It makes sense? So that took me 10 years, but we got there. It was in the 10-year plan for my wife and I. Some people might ask, do you want to live in a big city or do you want to live in a small town? Do big cities make you feel agitated all the time? Traffic? Well, I'm working on that. Well, maybe you're not in a place that there's not peace there for you. Do you get it? So you got to kind of think that out, work that out. Some things will always be irritators. Mark and I are talking about that. Some people are just always irritated with everything. And they hire service professionals to somehow make their irritations go away. All they wind up doing is irritating us. It's just part of it, right? Do you want to live in the mountains or do you want to live by the water? Do you want to live in the suburbs? Do you want to live in the city? Do you want to live in the country? These are things to talk out. Why? Because then at least you know you've made your decision. This is where I want to be. Make sense? It's about a roadmap. It's about where we're headed. Second question. How do we want to earn our money to provide for our needs? Now that's a question. Wait a minute, I have a choice in the matter? Yeah, we all have a choice in the matter. How do we want to earn our money? What do we want to do to earn money? Anybody ever ask themselves that question? What do I want to do in my life? In other words, they say, Gideon, what are you going to do with, what are you going to do in your life? What are you going to do with your life? How many people have asked you that question? Okay, a lot. Why? Why? Because you're at that point of launching. It's not a negative, it's just you're at that point to launch, right? Bert, how many people asked you that question when you were 18 years old? What are you going to do with your life?
I was asked, where do you want to be 5 to 10 years from now? And that made me think.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about. What do I want to be? What do I want to do? Geographically, where do I want to be located? What are my goals, right? We're never too old, we're never too young to plan this stuff. Oliver, you got a great opportunity. You can map it out in front of you. Rocco, wherever he is, I know where he wants to be, it ain't in here. You see, he's probably chasing a cricket or a lizard. He had caught one when he first got here this morning. So, what kind of company do you want to work for? If you're choosing the career path, right, college or career, right, entrepreneur, what kind of company do you want to work for? That's a question. A product or a service company. If you're going to start a business, do you want to have a product business? Do you want to have a service business? These are questions. You can ask them and answer them objectively of yourself. Ask your spouse. Do the same thing. Hey, where do you want to be in 10 years? What do you want to see in 5 years? And if it's not where you want to be, that's good, because it allows you guys to talk it out. It's great if it's where you want to be. You're like, oh, this is great. Usually when you're choosing a spouse, you have these questions. You have these they're called pre-marriage counseling. Pre-marriage questions. Because there's going to need to be some counseling before you get married. Because you're going to find out that you two are going like this. And you're like, well, how do we wrap that together? Right? It's true. It's true for all of us guys that have been married and or are married. Health, medical services. Do you want to go into the health field? Do you want to go into the medical field? I don't want to be a doctor. The industry is wide open. There's a number of things you can be. Like, I like to help people. Justin, you like to help people. Justin is a new captain of the Corpus Christi Fire Department. How long did you do 911 dispatch?
9 years.
9 years. Firefighter? Because you had volunteer and?
This November will be 23 years.
23 years. Do you think Justin wants to help people? Do you think Justin wakes up every day saying, you know what, I'm going to go help some people out? How early in life did you know that you wanted to help people like that as a first responder?
17, 18 years old.
Wow. It's the trajectory. He knew where he was going, and he's fulfilling it. Do you feel fulfilled in what you do?
Most days, yeah. But I have goals.
Past that.
Past.
You have goals past that, right? But you feel fulfilled because it's what you wanted to do.
Right.
Okay. Something that I chose to get out of an office, and I chose to get out and go work for myself, and I chose to be a home improvement handyman. I chose to be a handyman. That's what I was going to do. Whatever it took, I was going to be a handyman. I eventually worked myself up to be a remodeler. Then I worked myself up to be a builder. Then I worked myself up to be a GC. And then I worked myself to be a developer, which means I just want to work for myself. Right? I say that. I started out changing toilets for people. Fixing holes in walls. That's how I started. I just wanted to get out of the office because I had a trajectory I wanted to get to. I didn't know I'd be here 20 years later. I just knew I wanted to get away from an office because that wasn't where I excelled. Make sense? So I set a trajectory, and every day I'd wake up and say, I want to go out and help people. I'm going to go out and help people fix people's homes. That was just my thing. Mechanics feel the same way about fixing people's cars. They do. They're like, you know, I'm going to fix somebody's car today. But the days that I dreaded going into work, my wife would remind me. She'd say, James, you chose this. You chose this. You wanted this. Meanwhile, she's listening to me cry about, this sucks. I want to get out of this. I want to stop doing this. And she's like, you chose this. She wasn't beating me up over it. She was reminding me it was my choice. Like I wasn't stuck. A lot of guys start freaking out because they feel stuck. That's why they leave their wives. That's why they run away. That's why they just disappear. They feel stuck. But if they just had moments like this, they probably wouldn't feel stuck anymore. Then they'd feel like they're actually in control. Does this make sense? They'd feel like they're in control if they put themselves back into the driver's seat, right? So I would then come back and say, you're right, I did choose this. And it would give me back the authority. It'd give me back that I can do this. And I'd press on through. Does this make sense? How will you raise your children? These are the questions that you'll ask yourself. Those of you who have children that are grown, you can still ask yourself that. How will I interact with them with my grown children? How will I interact with them? How will I lead them? Will I coach them? Will I be complete hands-off and let them just be? Glad they're out of the house. Or is it like, hey, let's chat, let's talk, where are we at? How can I help you? What do you need? For little ones, what type of discipline will you use? Ooh, that's a dirty word, discipline. Discipline literally just means shaping. How will you shape them? How will you direct them? The disciplines of life. It's like the disciplines of boxing. You want to go box, but you know nothing about boxing. You're going to get killed. You firstly teach you the disciplines of footwork. Jab, the jab. Right? They teach you all of that. They teach you how to move your head. Why? Because if you don't move your head, you're going to get crushed. Right? It's just what it is. If you don't know how to go like this, you're going to get hit in the jaw. Make sense? Just that little lean out. Those are the disciplines. So life has, and I'm not a boxer, I trained for a little while. And I learned it very quick. I'm like, all right, I'm done. That was fun. I like punching people, but I'm done. I don't want to get punched. But this was fun. This was fun. I want to get out. So all I'm saying is that there's this mentality of discipline. How do we want to discipline our children? Do we want to, oh, you really screwed up. Get out of my sight. Is that what you want to do? I was raised that way. I was like, oh my goodness, does my dad hate me? Or is he just like, what is it? And it was never dealt with. Now get out of my sight, I want to see you the rest of my day. The rest of his day, he didn't want to see me. I'm like, oh, now what do I do? I literally would duck and hide. Like, oh, Dad don't want to see me. Now did I do something wrong? Yeah. Well, that's why he whacked me. But it wasn't like, hey son, come here, sit down, let me talk to you. What you just did was wrong. You knew your mom and dad said don't do that, you did it anyway, you hurt your sister, hurt your brother, whatever it is, you stole something, Sit them down and deal with the heart of the issue. It's always the heart, okay? And so thinking about the direction of how do we shape our children so they grow up knowing that they're confident in life, they're loved by their dad, by their mom, so important, and that they can take on whatever comes their direction because they've seen it demonstrated. How do we want to raise our children? Coward, like they cower? How do we want to raise them? Right? That's a big deal for men. That's the tone set by the man in the house. Okay? The type of, for young ones, will you put them into daycare? Or will your wife stay home with them? These are questions that all young moms and dads have to figure out. What are we going to do? Are we going to 2 incomes in the household or 1? In my house, I've been married 21 or 23 years, we chose that Megan would stay home with the children. Which meant I chose what? 1 income. I chose 1 income. Some households choose 2 income. Is 1 right and 1 wrong? No, but each one has a consequence. There is a consequence with every decision we make. What was my consequence? We were poor for the first 12 years of my life. For 12 years of my life, we were poor. Barely making it. But you know what? I was okay with it. You know why? Why? Why was I okay with it? My kids were raised with their mama.
Some of those decisions are based on being broke and being mad at the same time.
Yes, of course.
With prayer.
Yes.
You have to have prayer, madness, and no money.
You are driven to do whatever it takes.
That's the guidance that kind of comes with where you need to be. It's very difficult.
It really is. This is something that we all struggle with, guys. This is not a one-person situation. We all have to face these decisions ourselves. But not everybody shares with it. Most men do not share with other men what they're going through. Hey Santos, how you doing? Good, see, he's fine, let's move on. I don't want to get too deep there. Why? I don't want to unload stuff on me. Terry? That's a disservice that we do to each other. What you just did, what I just did there, it will be given back to me. Chris, why don't you ask me how I'm doing?
How are you doing?
I'm doing just great, thanks. But
What's on your mind?
What am I going to do? Am I going to lean in, or am I going to pull away? Now, if I know Chris, and I know that he'll chat, he's shared with me a little bit, I might lean in. Well, actually, I'm going through some really hard times.
Tell me about it.
So he's actually engaging. Do you see? This is a real thing that most men do not do,
But
which
we
is
have
why
to-
we feel.
We have to do that in confidence. We can't.
Right.
You really gossip about it.
So this is my point. That's the great point. I already know that Chris will engage with me because I've had other conversations. Like, I know Chris. I won't just go to a stranger. I won't just go to a stranger. Like, hey, how you doing? Well, actually, this is what's going on. And they give you the laundry list of stuff, and they puke on you. You're like, dude, you just puked all over me. Now, I may feel that way, but the way my heart is, one of those things that I had said here is, I like to help people solve their problems. Oh, my goodness. I have one of those hearts. Tell me about it. Oh, my God, just tell me about it. And my goal, in the end, is two things. Number one, tell them how God can help them. Remember how I said this? I have one of these goals that says that how God can help them find peace in their life and give meaning to their lives. So I already have that. That's like one of those things that I want to do. If someone's telling me their problems, I've told my wife this a long time. If someone is telling me their problems, they want, number one, they want to hear about God. How God can solve their problem. Number two, they want me to pray for them. They must want me to pray for them. That's why they're telling me their problem. Why? Because that's already in me. I already know that's kind of like my compass. Make sense? To your point, no, we don't want to just puke on people and tell everybody our issues and then walk away and then they go tell everybody else. I mean, that's not very nice. But men feel like they're on islands because we don't extend that to others. Right? So we reap what we sow. It's the law of reciprocity. It's not karma. The Bible calls it reciprocity. The law of reciprocity. You reap what you sow. So if you're putting it out there, you'd like to receive it. You may not receive it from the same person, but that's okay. But at least you're sowing it. You're putting it out there. Remember this? I read a book 12 years ago. I read a book 10, 12 years ago. That's really good. Shepherding Your Child's Heart. Anybody here ever read that? You might look it up. It's probably $1 now on Amazon. Awesome book. Shepherding Your Child's Heart. Like a shepherd. Cares for his son, cares for his daughter. It's the shaping, the directing, the guiding. It impacted me in my 20s. It's a big deal. So I would just highly recommend, well, I guess it was my 30s, my early 30s. What type of education will they have? What do you want to teach your children? This is an important one. What life lessons are you going to teach your kids that you didn't learn when you were growing up? Most people say, I'm going to give my kids this, 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 and this because my dad did not give it to me. I'm going to give it to them. Whatever they ask, I'm not going to hold back a thing. Why? Because when you grew up, it was held back from you, and it was done with a hard heart. A bigger thing to say is, instead of giving our kids something, what lessons did my dad or my mom or uncle, my brother, my grandfather not teach me that I wish I knew? That now I can teach them.
The lesson is the thing, you almost have to test them to see where they're at.
Of course.
To see how much of a liar your kid is. Or how much of a thief he is. You can't really just go with how you feel on this stuff.
It's true. It's where people are at.
Yeah.
And you got to meet them where they're at. So if you can teach them lessons that you wish you knew, that's powerful. Now you're shaping your child's future. You're going to get them ahead in life versus feeling like there are some men. I'm only talking about men here. I'm not talking about women. You get it? Some men do not want their sons to launch from where their father is today. Some men want their sons. Well, I started with nothing. he's going to start with nothing. I reached here, he's going to have to work his whole life to get here. Oh my goodness, what a demonic thought process. That is so dark. So you want your kid to go through every single thing that you went through? Just so that what? He can reach your level? Because your level is the epitome? Actually, the kingdom thinking is this. I started here, I've worked my way here. You know, my father, he started from there, he worked his way here. I built off, I'm doing a little bit better than he's doing. He's proud of me, he's happy for me. My boy, do you see it? My grandfather was here, my dad got here, I got here. My grandfather would celebrate the fact that his grandson is doing well in life, unless he was a bitter old man who didn't have a heart for his grandkids. But now I'm here. Now what am I going to do with my son? I'm going to force him back down where Grandpa was? I'm going to walk to school? What are we going to do? So he earns that, he really learns that lesson? No. I'm going to bring him to my level where I'm at. I'm going to teach him, raise him up so he understands where I'm at. And remember guys, the sky's the limit, right? I'm not at the limit. I'm at the top. And from here, he's going to launch from here. Why? Because I want him to get higher than me. I want him to do better in life. And it's not about riches. It's about the wealth of life, relationships. The heart and soul is relationships, how we interact. A solid relationship with God versus feeling like he had to have the same struggles I had to have. He had to wrestle with porn since he was 6. Seriously. Why? I had 7 older brothers that were all in that stuff. So it fell right down to me. 6 years old. That's my son's age. Do I think I want him to go through the same stuff I had to go through? No. Why would we? Do you get it? But you will do that if you don't think about it. You will do that if you're not intentional. You will do that. It'll inadvertently will happen. It just will because you're not even thinking about it. So when we think about it, we can then set the course to where we're going. Almost done? Then we're going to break out. What type of schedule do you want to keep? How many days a week do you want to work? Do you want to be the 7-day-a-week guy? I was, for many years in the beginning. Then I was a 6-day-a-week guy. And then I was a 5-day-a-week guy. Do you get it? Because every like new threshold, I was like, you know what? I really want to spend more time with my kids. You know what? I don't want to be working until 10 o'clock at night. I don't want to start at 5 a.m. and work till 10, doing paperwork and estimates and emails. I don't, because then my family's like, he's home, but he's not here. He's here, but he's not here. And then they feel like don't even bother with him. So then when you are ready to talk, they're like, yeah, Dad's here, so what? Do you get it? Because they don't know that, like, Dad's here, but he was here yesterday, but he wasn't here. He wasn't in, or he wasn't like, do you get it? We set the tone to all of that. Working all the time, gone, work trips on the weekends, missing your kids' games. You cared enough to put them in the sports, but you don't care enough to show up. The kids are like, I'm doing this for Dad. I'm doing this for the, you did really good, son. Well done. Awesome. That's what life's about, right? Because we're journeying together. We're all pressing on towards the kingdom, right? We have a choice in everything. We typically make the choice to do something that we put more value on than something else. We all have a choice. We make a choice in everything. But whatever we choose to do means we put more value on that thing and less value on this thing. You have to choose this or that. Whatever you choose, you've made a decision to do this and not to do that. Or to do this and not that one. Does this make sense? So whichever one you chose to do, you put more time on. So someone says, hey, can you meet me at 6 o'clock? I want to do a meeting at 6 o'clock. I'm like, that's my dinner time. And my kids are waiting for me, and that's dinner time. But this guy's like, hey, I need you to come out and look at the house at 6 o'clock. Mark, I know, every business owner here has had this experience. What do we do? Well, I need the money. Do I go to the meeting? Or do I go to my family? What do I do? It's a quandary, isn't it? Where do I put more value? Well, I need the money, and my family will understand. Guess what? I don't care. That's the message they got. Dad does not care. His dad is not here, present. So that's when I stopped that. I'm sharing everything I've done, by the way. That's when I stopped that and I said, appointments do not go past 5:30. I need to be done by 5:30, which means my appointment is at 4:30. I am done by 5:30. I am home by 6. Why? Because I'm choosing to be present with my family. So they know I care about them. So important, right? Moving through this, we've got a couple more minutes. Talked about community service. How do you want to be involved when you're not compensated for your time? Do you want to include your children in service with you? Do you serve at your church? Do you care for the least of these when you're prompted in the city? When you see people who are suffering, do you respond? That's service. Food, water, shelter, something. Right? Do you do that? And do you include your family in that? How do you want serving community to be part of your life? What type of vacations and experiences do you want to have? I want to go and see the world. I want to go and see the different climates and the different things. I like to see different cultures. I like to see how different people live. So when I go on vacations, that's what I want to do. I highly recommend that you should consider visiting third world nations where people live without the basics. They don't have food, water, shelter on a regular basis. Those are life-changing, and they help shape your perspective of where you want to go in life. If you've never experienced severe poverty, like literally, like you smell of it, you will never truly appreciate the little bit that you have. You will never. You think you do, but you never really will. So if you had an opportunity to go to Mexico, if you had an opportunity, because we're, just third world nation, 2 hours from here. And if you could eat, sleep, get the dirt under your fingernails, you'd be like, oh, we have it good. And that's not a weapon to use against our kids. That's not a weapon to use against our kids. We have it really good, which means your perspective will change in life. It'll change, it shapes your whole perspective. And to take your children on missions trips and to serve together as a family will forever imprint your family. It is ultra powerful. Where do you want to retire? Where do you want to retire? That dirty word. I think it's a dirty word. And do you believe in retirement? You can answer that question yourself. I personally think retirement is not a biblical idea. It is an American consumerism concept. You are no longer useful for the workplace and the workforce, so step out of the way and let that younger person, so they can pay them less, take your place, while you go into a place that you prepare to die for the next 20 years. That is retirement. That's the American concept of retirement. So we can't just fall into that. Obviously, there's a point where we want to do something different in our lives. We want to do something different in our lives. Yeah, I put 20 years into that. I've put 20 years into residential remodeling. I want something new, Mark. I do. I just want something different. So mentality, God never looks at us as retirement. Oh, they retired. God doesn't do that. He looks at his son, his servant. He's involved. What's he doing for the kingdom? So we never retire, just sit on a couch and do nothing. That's a waste. Here's a big question. We're going to close on this. I asked a lot of questions today, but don't worry, I let you pronounce. If you were to have a book written about your life, Mark, if you were going to have a book written about your life, and the book was so good, they decided to make a movie of it, what would the storyline be of your life? What would the storyline be of your book? Would your movie and book be something that your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren would be inspired by? Would your grandchildren even want to read it? Would they want to watch it? It's about your life. Having a vision for your life has much to do with you seeing that you have a hope and a future. Just as Yahweh says, and as he says to the Israelites in Jeremiah 29, verse 11. And in verse 10 it says, "This is what the Lord says, When 70 years are completed in Babylon, I will come to you and fulfill my good promise to you, bring you back to this place, this place was Israel. It was the promised land. We all are desiring the promised land. We all are pressing on towards Zion, heavenly Zion, the celestial city, which comes from Pilgrim's Progress. Fantastic book, by the way, Paul Bunyan. Verse 11, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. Then you will call on my name, and you will pray to me, and I will listen to you. When you seek me and find me, when you ask me with all your heart, I will be found by you, declares the Lord. And I will bring you back from your captivity. It's all about how God does have a plan for our life. If He has a plan for our lives, shouldn't we tap into that? And that is a cornerstone scripture for my life, because I want to know I'm pursuing intentionally the calling over my life. Which means that all of us can consider that today as importance. No matter what age we are, from the youngest to the oldest, we all have a calling over our lives. So, with that, we now are going to break out. So we've got, our leaders can take 2 tables over here and 2 tables over here. And if everybody can spread out, it should be about 5 people to a table. We've got 30 minutes to go through this together. Could you imagine that? That's the anthem that we have for our kids. Our love is wild. Our love is crazy. For everyone around us. Dude, that's deep. Think about it. Think about it. However God says He is towards us is how we should be towards people. It's huge. It's a big concept, right? So, His love is wild. His love is crazy. And how do we know that we really love God? What's the Bible say? How do we know that we first love God? How do we know that we love God? It's by how we love people. God's not here. God's not here tangibly. But when I show love and kindness and goodness, God is here. It's powerful, right? So when we show love to others, there it is. Was this helpful? Was it a good, like they say, a shot in the arm? A shot like a steroid? Feel better now. No, not a vaccine. No jabs. Not a jab. Thank you. I'm glad you clarified. Not a vaccine. Do not get the jab if you don't have to. Bennett, don't get it. Of course he said it. Justin always says it. Okay, so this was helpful?
Yes.
Good. Take this with you, and if you share it, read it, but share it with your spouse. For those of you who are married, those who are in a relationship, who are considering marriage, and just a life plan. It's a life plan. It's a roadmap. Work through it. Go answer all those questions. If you guys can answer all those questions, you have just done what the majority of men do not do. Most men don't map out their life. But if you do it, now you are that top 10%. You're like the 10% of people actually are with God. All things are possible. He has a plan for my life. So I'm grateful that you guys joined me today. Our next meeting is in 2 weeks. I'm trying to do it every 2 weeks. And every time I'm trying to bring something that will be tangible that you guys can draw from. So it's going to be a different group of people. Hopefully we see new faces and some same faces as well. But I'm going to try to be consistent as I can. If there's one person here, that's me. I might not preach. But if it's just me and one more person, I will. Is that fair? All right, Brock, where are you? Rocco. Son. Bente, come here. Pull a ticket. Come here. Anybody that brings a guest with them next time will be entered into our door prize. But first, we're going to do the 50-50. No. Dig deep in there. Oh, okay, never mind. That's the one you picked. I couldn't do that. It's not fair, right? All right, this is the 50-50. Whoever bought a 50-50, come back here. Boy, you can't take it. Come here. It's $35 is the pot.
I'll buy it.
You'll buy it?
Yeah.
All right, what are those numbers? Read those numbers off.
Wait, is that the 50-50
This
or
is
door
50-50.
prize?
The blue ticket's the 50-50. Read it.
5,
3,
9,
9,
3, 9.
349. 549 349.
Somebody that came in before me.
And after, you.
Somebody.
Oh, come on. 349. 349.
Come on.
Somebody has to follow.
349.
Hey, here you go.
Chris has got it. Verify, verify. Oh, he's got it. All right, and you get to keep the tickets, okay?
Oh, man.
There you go. Oliver, come here. All right, door prize. Door prize today is anybody that's first-time guest, and anybody, if you bring a first-time guest, you both get entered into the prize. So, I guess you go like this. Put them in here. Okay, I need a tumbler. Hey, I thought you said you were going to buy me a tumbler. Okay, we are door prizing an anvil. It's an anvil.
I have employees that'll break that.
Yeah, I believe it. Okay. 76 piece. It's got pliers. It's a tool set. It's got everything that your wife needs. Or your son who's just starting out, don't have any of his own tools yet. This is a great little thing. All right, pick a ticket here. Hey, did you get a ticket too? Okay, good. All right, what do you got?
174033.
033.
Oh, there we go.
All right. Oh, look at that. It's what you never had, always wished you did. Yeah, congratulations. I appreciate it. Okay, guys. Anybody that wants prayer, wants that's available, right? There's guys here that'll pray with you. If you I don't want you to feel like, hey, I'm going through some things and I ain't got nobody to talk to. We'll linger back, and that's for everybody. I don't want anybody to feel like that's not an option. Also, if anybody wants to connect with me or anybody else here from the group, we have a, what's it called? What do we do?
GroupMe?
GroupMe. We have a GroupMe. Who said that? Hey, GroupMe. Anybody here wants to be on the GroupMe, you can be added in. We're just creating a network of people of men that we can communicate with throughout the week, right? Several guys, last time of the 30 people, we had 12 of them were entrepreneurs. A good chunk of them were fathers, people that have been in business a long time. There's people that you can draw from, so you don't feel like you're by yourself. That's the whole idea. Bring people together from different community, or from the same community but different pockets that we can kind of rely on and build relationship with. So I just want to remind you that. So we have the GroupMe. I will send you an invitation again, or send you an invitation. Anybody have any questions before we close out? Anybody? Any Q's? Any A's? Any A's and Q's? Any answers? No? Good. Cool. Let's pray and we'll send you guys on your way. Abba, thank you again for this day. I say Abba because I call you my daddy. I pray and ask that all of our hearts would be leaning in towards you as daddy, just like Jesus taught us to pray. So we thank you for that. We ask and pray that you would help solidify the plan that you have for our lives, the vision, the purpose, the destiny, as some call it, of what it is that you want us to do as men, wherever we're at in this present moment of our lives. I pray that we would lead our families well, that we would lead ourselves well, even the people that at work that we lead and we oversee, or even if we're just part of the team. I pray that we would bring value wherever we are. I also ask that you would help us to go to those that we've offended, go to those that we have wronged, go to those that we know that our brother has something against us. I pray that we would be mindful of that and we would go and ask for forgiveness, because a true man can humble himself and ask for forgiveness of another. Even if they don't give it or grant it, then at least I know I've done what my responsibility is before you, Lord. So I pray that you would help us do that as men. Be with us this week as we go about our activities, and give us clear vision, I pray. In the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen.
All right, guys.